Hi, Beverly. I got 2 checks this month. Not that I'm complaining. So anyway,
excuse me. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it over here. This young woman got 2 checks, and I don't have any.
I think of John and Georgette as both intellectual artists in a way. That they're in academia, but they're really kind of removed from the workaday nature of life. And I think Maggie is just incredibly grounded in practicality, and I think she always has been. And I think that's part of the attraction of her and John, is that she seems like someone who could organize the practical parts of his life and then he could just live in the clouds. She doesn't operate from a place of guilt, which I think is really special in a female character, especially who's going through all these relationship things.
It's so funny you know John Harding.
Oh, we're on a committee together. He's a real panty melter. Why?
Oh, nothing. We had a mix-up with our checks because of our names, Hardin, Harding.
Right.
I'm less of a control freak, but I do have the same, sometimes when I have a single-minded pursuit that I just have to get, I can get like her, which is sort of tunnel vision.
John and I are in trouble, and I don't think he realizes how much trouble we're in, or he doesn't want to know. And then when I saw you at the reading, I realized that there might be an opportunity, an opening to somehow get the two of you back together.
I definitely have Maggie in me, and I have a sort of screwball quality to me in terms of how I live my life. But there's a bit of Georgette. I'm definitely making myself sound fun of myself with Georgette a little bit. And John, too, because like he's a writer, and the absurdity of a writer and the absurdity of how obsessed we get with things that really maybe aren't all that important is something that I can identify with.
I knew this Masai from Tanzania. You know, he was here to run in the marathon. And he took everything about New York City in complete stride. You know, nothing fazed him until he saw a grown man following his dog and picking up his shit. And he started laughing so hard he wept.
The film is sort of our life, but just a little bit lifted. You know, it's just a slightly heightened tone and a heightened life, which is sort of strangely plausible. I mean, I bet somewhere in the world this whole thing has happened.
Have the decency to leave him and face the fact that you poisoned my life and my children's life and probably John's life with your own selfishness. That's your burden. You earned it.
But definitely the idea of family is changing, and I think what's great about the movie is that it's incredibly romantic, but it's also quite realistic about how messy life is. And I love that in the movie there's not one but 2 women who get to follow their lust, and they're not punished for it.
It's sterile.
Listen, I feel it behooves me to offer to do this the old-fashioned way. Considering your extreme state of beauty and my totally free afternoon.
The idea of interdependence or a clan is something that I think is very much coming our way. You know, as couples are changing so rapidly and liquidly, the question is, who is your larger village? Who's your larger clan? And I think that's more what family is becoming more and more. It's a time where the rule book has been thrown out, and men and women, we don't know, you know, do we have babies, you know, with each other? Do we have babies on our own? Do we have them in a test tube? When you have so many choices, it's confusing, but there's also a beauty to it because it means that when we're together, we really choose each other, and that's, you know, that's nice.
You know, she's got tenure at Columbia. Georgette Nourgard. The words glacial and terrifying have been bandied about. Then again, I have heard myself described as a psychotic bitch, but I think I'm actually pretty nice, so you can't believe everything you hear.
I think in this time, which I think has a lot of darkness in it, this time of life and in the world, I think comedy has a kind of, to create a comedy that's about serious things is a nice thing to do. I think people want that. People need it. I know I do. I want to watch a movie that's smart but fun, you know, which is, I hope, what we've given you.
Love doesn't work this way. You can't take everything and stuff it back in the box.
It's the tragic flaw in my plan.
I've decided to embrace the mystery of the universe and stop bossing everybody around so much.
Good luck with that, bossy pants.